In the quiet hum of deep space observation, amidst the endless streams of data, we found it, a single point of information, so clean, so precise, it was almost invisible against the cosmic noise. A pattern, a perfect geometric ripple propagating through the rings of a gas giant trillions of miles away. It appeared, vanished, and then reappeared exactly as before. A flawless, recurring seismic beat echoing from the heart of a dead planet. This wasn't just another discovery. It was the beginning of the end of everything we thought we knew. This anomaly, this impossibly perfect signal, is the most important, and frankly, the most terrifying discovery in human history. At first, we treated it as an error, a sensor glitch, a computational ghost. We ran diagnostics for months, tearing apart our own systems, convinced the flaw was ours. But the signal remained. It was real. We pointed every instrument we had at it, from radio telescopes to gravitational wave observatories. The results that came back were not just contradictory, they were impossible. The ripple in the planetary rings, for instance, moved in a way that defied the laws of orbital mechanics. The seismic beat from the dead world produced more energy than the planet could possibly contain. It was a clear, unambiguous violation of the conservation of energy. The data suggested a structure, a source, but its properties were nonsensical. Its gravitational lensing effect implied a mass greater than its host galaxy, yet its physical footprint was smaller than a city block. It seemed to occupy multiple points in spacetime simultaneously, and its movement, if you could call it that, appeared to exceed the speed of light, not by a small margin, but infinitely. It was everywhere and nowhere. We ran simulations, trying to model what could possibly account for these readings. The computers churned for weeks, only to return a single, chilling summary. Mass, indeterminate, velocity, impossible. Composition, unknown. Origin, paradoxico. The very language of physics failed us. Our science, our understanding of the universe, was a child's drawing next to this thing. The existential dread began to creep in. We were not just observing something new. We were observing something that told us our entire reality was a lie. The horror deepened when we considered the alternative. What if this wasn't a natural phenomenon at all? What if it was artificial? The precision, the repetition, the sheer disregard for the fundamental constants of our universe, it all pointed toward intelligence. But an intelligence so far beyond our own that it operated on a plane of existence we could uneven conceptualize. We shifted our focus from physics to communication. Was it a message? We applied every decryption algorithm ever devised, from simple frequency analysis to quantum entanglement decoding. For years, there was nothing but static. A symphony of chaos. Then, a breakthrough. One of our cryptographers, working on a hunch, stopped trying to find a complex code. Instead, she treated the anomaly itself, the raw physics-breaking data, as the message. She theorized that the signal wasn't carrying information. The signal was the information. By analyzing the recursive patterns in the energy violations, a phrase began to emerge. It wasn't in any human language, of course. It was a concept, translated through the cold, hard logic of mathematics. A single, directive thought, resonating across the void. It wasn't a greeting. It wasn't a warning. It was a status update, a cold, impersonal statement of fact, echoing from the deep. The structure requires completion. There was no negotiation, no acknowledgement of our existence. It was like a construction foreman's note left on a cosmic blueprint. We were nothing. Ants on a sidewalk, oblivious to the skyscraper being built around us, a project so vast its architects didn't need to consider the ground we walk on. They didn't break our laws of physics. They simply had their own. And their laws superseded ours. The philosophical fallout was immediate and catastrophic. Science, from Newton to Einstein, was built on a single core assumption that the laws of nature are universal and constant, that the universe, while complex, is ultimately knowable. This discovery shattered that foundation. If the laws of physics can be selectively ignored, if they are not fundamental but merely local suggestions, then our reality is arbitrary. It is a sandbox, and we are not the ones who built it. Our entire existence, every star, every planet, every life form, is a temporary arrangement, subject to the whims of whatever is building this structure. We are living in a universe that is fundamentally unstable, a reality that can be edited, rewritten, or deleted by an entity that does not even know we are here. The end of physics is not a new theory. It is the realization that there are no theories. There is only the will of that which lies outside our comprehension, a force that operates on a scale so grand it makes God seem small. And so we are left with a single, unanswerable question. As we watch this anomaly continue its work, reshaping the cosmos according to a logic we will never understand, we have it to ask. What happens when the structure is complete?